Do it.
Just do Merca. Merca. Mushrooms at parties.
There we go. Fine. And 16-hour smoked pork butt. There we go.
That sounds delicious too.
It was. Shrooms and pork butt.
That's a Primus album right there. Shrooms and pork butt.
Oh. All right. We're live. Why is my... There we are.
We're live.
Are we
live?
Are we live?
I just got my link up. All right.
Uh-oh.
Get all my other shit here and all my other ducks in a row. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's episode of the Red Eye Report, we're talking about fireworks. And it's so damn hot out tonight, just everything's hot. There's Mistic, our hot fat dude. There's Teddy, our hot black dude. Oracle, our hot East Coast starving poet dude. And myself, Ashtray, our hot drunk tripping on shrooms dude.
Oh, I'm not starving.
Ashtray does look hot. Just look at him. Like,
yeah, you're melting, man.
Sweaty.
I got a gleam.
Like Teddy's over there just chilling. Like, I got central aim.
I got a fucking AC on, man.
Look at that wind blowing in your hair with that flag.
Yeah, man.
Right?
That's ridiculous.
My AC's been on for weeks.
Oh, yeah, I can only wonder how long this bag of frozen peas under my nutsack is going to stay cold.
15,
and
20 minutes.
Is this the Red Eye Report? This is the Red Eye.
Is it?
I look like I've got heat shock. Fireworks. They've been around for a long fucking time. They, originally made back in the old-timey eras of in China. China's oldest recorded history of
really? Okay.
Back in 202 BC to 220
what? Holy
fuck. AD, during the Han Dynasty. They were basically they're packing bamboo stems with like a black powder substance. There's it's kind of one of those things where it's so damn long ago, no one really knows who invented it, but they think it was actually monks who were. There's some rumors that they were looking for an elixir to life.
So they were tripping balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. They took the free shrooms at the party.
Everybody was like, you know what? Fuck it. Nothing bad will happen to me.
Yeah, right? What do I got to do? Just host a fucking podcast.
Yes, stranger, I will take your mushrooms. Nom, 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 nom.
So there's another theory that it was, which I think's more plausible, is alchemy. They know if it wasn't an actual alchemist who created black powder, definitely alchemists helped expand pyrotechnics because alchemists were burning and mixing all kinds of shit to try to make gold, out of dirt.
Blowing shit up.
Yeah, so they're blowing shit up, burning shit, trying whatever they could. So they actually had some experience and knowledge with what types of metals burned with certain colors. So they do believe that the knowledge of alchemy has helped further expand.
Now, with the Chinese fireworks, what were they used for? Was it like a weapon, or was it a celebratory? Well, they actually
believe it was they're originally, or at least some of the oldest fucking Chinese scroll paintings is that they were used ceremoniously to ward off demons, like those snappers. Mm-hmm. Like they would make these little small, psh, psh, explosions to ward off evil spirits. And then they became they became common enough that people were using for celebrations, weddings, births, stuff like that. And it didn't take long for, of course, Westerners to
turn them into guns.
see this and be like, we could use it. Yeah, sure, that's cool. Give me your
Ashtray.
sparkler, we'll make a gun.
Dude, Ashtray, I'm gonna send you a fan, man. You're looking kind of greasy and it's making me hot.
Well, I turned my fan off. It wasn't loud
Dude,
enough.
Like, well, I got my fan on and shit. I'm like, I'm feeling kind of hot now. Yeah. Go to Walmart and get a $25 fan, bro.
No, I do have fans, motherfucker. I just cut it off for the recording. God, I ain't that dumb.
Hey.
I may be stubborn, but I can at least get a fan. Anyways, motherfucking Westerners took gunpowder, black powder, and kind of ran with it. But it was actually, you know, a lot of us think of China and Asia for like, oh, you know, who's known for making fireworks. But it's actually Italy is where a lot of
no shit.
the best fireworks are still even made today.
Huh.
And so like China still makes and sells the most, but they also make and sell them. They're mostly all machine made. And the thing is, you would think machine precision would make a better fire, you know. Well, basically these are like the mortar. We're talking now the real,
the mortar,
the ones that they use for the real displays you're going to, for the fairs. But it turns out, I guess the handmade ones, especially from Italy, are still Italy and Spain are considered like the primo ones to get because they're much more reliable and they have better colors and better patterns.
Did you see how much those cost? Like,
no.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. Teddy, Google that while we're talking.
No, it's not my topic.
While I'm looking for that.
Teddy's fucking smoking weed again. He isn't doing shit
true.
for you.
It's not my topic.
I
bro.
can fucking Google it.
This picture here in I wanted to say, Oracle, since you're the one navigating the feed for our folks, you show that picture here of that I got in the outline of the inside of one of those mortar shells. I mean, this mortar shell itself looks like it's goddamn about 10 or 12 inch diameter. Oracle brings it up on the feed here.
Yeah, that's it's like a fucking basketball.
Yeah. Now it's a cool cut in half thing to show you how like how these are actually made, and also how them being handmade are why they're just a better quality. And if you scroll down, or you probably are showing it now, there's just a delay in
all
feed.
The balls and shit. The
one below it, yeah. So those are they're considered the stars.
Okay.
They're made to so you can see there's that centrifuge. There's initial launch charge that's what fires it up into the air. And then depending upon what mixture they put in that launch charge will determine like kind of the color of the tail and that, let alone how far it goes up. And then that's based on another timing of fuse that goes to the center there, like you can see in that image. That then will set off that center charge, and it blows all of those star balls out. Those stars are what then fly off and create those, that burst. And those stars are actually, I watched a video on how they're made. These fireworks facilities have a lot of them, or at least these were the more primo ones where they are all still handmade. Their mixing sheds are literally about the size of, this contractor trailers, you know, at work sites and stuff, about the size of those. And they're actually designed that way, so they're not very big. There's no electricity to them.
Mm-hmm.
They're guarded for static electricity, and so they also don't even have any lights. They just line the inside with reflective material to and then with some like windows to let in the ambient light. But they had what looked almost like you know, your grinder, how your grinder has a screen on it, for the beef tray at the bottom. For all our listeners who know what we're talking about, think of a big one of those where they would mix. There's certain amount of this chemical, because different chemicals give you the different colors. Like if you want reds in your fireworks, you got to use strontium. Sounds healthy. They're white. You want magnesium.
Some strontium on your mom last night.
Boom.
Oh boy, you know she's strontium neutral. Anyways, if you want blue, it's copper compounds. Orange comes from your calciums. Superheated magnesium or aluminum will make silver. And green comes from barium or boron compounds. And violet comes from strontium and copper mix. And anyways, how these are all mixed is like literally they were taking little precise like scooperfuls, but then they put it on this fine mesh and they kind of like push it through that screen to break it up and evenly mix it into this powder. Then they have these frames where they kind of almost like a cookie cutter kind of thing that they press down into the mix, punch out these little pellets, and then those things go into these big rotating drums. Think of you've probably seen you know, those really small cement mixer, like stationary cement mixers at a construction site. It just like it's like a big bowl spinning sideways. Think of one of those that they put these pellets in and they just keep rolling them, and they mix just the right amount of binder and a little bit of some more black powder on the outer edge and paint them into these very specific sizes. And they have all these little sheds that they make these in, these compounds that are, so they're all separate from each other. Like if one goes up in smoke, ideally, it's not gonna light up any others. But let's see, what else about fire?
I got a story last night. We're airing the fireworks, and before the fireworks, they had like one anchor down at the fireworks, and she was talking. She goes, "Yeah, it's almost like." I mean, these fireworks displays are just so awesome nowadays. It's almost like they got it down to a science. And the other anchor goes, "Yeah, it's called rocket science." Like he was dead serious. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you fucking idiot.
Well,
it
costs
literally right.
I looked it up. It costs $1,000 a minute.
Well, yeah,
wow.
I can find individuals.
Yeah, they don't really do individual, but it's about $1,000 a minute. A good fireworks display is going to cost about $20,000.
Damn.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's cheaper than I thought.
Yeah, I thought honestly for like some of those big ones.
A couple $100,000 at least.
Yeah.
Well, because I was hearing that Trump shit. That he had $750,000 worth of fireworks donated.
Yeah, actually, I heard some fireworks companies like stepped up. They're like, "Yep," like he probably just pandered to him. Yeah, you want to do this fireworks?
He did because he delayed some tariffs on products that they use.
That's kind of that's pretty
so
clever.
But $750,000? That's fucking.
Oh,
yeah.
You gotta hand it to him sometimes, being the little fucking Trumpo.
He's a con man.
Yeah,
he is a con man. He is a shyster. So, anyways, a lot of the major pyrotechnic companies here in the U.S. Are families that were originally based in Italy that emigrated over here, and these families, like, they would be like a family business, and they would have a recipe book, just like, probably
like
their
the pizza
grandma's
shop.
pasta and like
Right.
these recipes for they were kept secret and handed down throughout the generations. And it was actually some Italian immigrated families who started pyrotechnic companies in the U.S. finally, because they still have these firework competitions annually where these companies compete to show off displays.
Yeah.
And I think it was in the 70s when the U.S. beat Italy, and it was an American-Italian family who brought that tradition over to America. But when we finally like dethroned Italy as far as having the best fireworks display at whatever these world-renowned competitions are, which makes me wonder, like, how do they do that? You can't just do them all at the same time, like. You have to do it one night, and then the next night, the next people light up their display.
Well, I think they have.
Yeah.
That's true. They probably do like a couple different, because it's like, okay, you get a 20-minute, 20-minute slot, and then you've got the next 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah. Although the thing is, I'm also thinking, like, depending on how many people are competing, like, that's a lot of space. You'd be set up in separate areas.
Well, they could set up like over water. They just put them on barges. So each company would set up their own barge.
That's true.
True.
Just tow it in and out. You have like a half an hour break in between or something.
You're a barge.
Wow. Wow. I don't know where that came from.
Shots fired.
Right? Like, damn.
That's for the strontium or whatever. The mom
mushroom. There's a motherfucking. What the fuck were we just talking about? Before barges. Oh, the competition between these fucking different companies and like.
Can we call it the Firecracker Mafia?
How that's changed, actually. The firework displays that we go to today are not like they would have been 100 years ago, or anything prior. Like, it was, if anything, it was individual mortar shells, and like how elaborate you could make each individual shell.
Sure, because you had to light them off individually, right?
Exactly.
Manually.
Yeah, because it was like one at a time. So it was more in like how beautiful can you make, or big can you make your shells, rather than today it's all now electronic. And they run wiring and connect it through all these boards, and then have it basically computer timed, and some dudes who basically these dudes have like super anxiety all the way up until like you get it going, and so long as it's like starting to go and everything going well, then it's like huge relief. Otherwise, they're just praying to God there isn't some wire that wasn't properly connected.
Man.
There was one that went off all at once recently.
Yeah.
Where it was like the whole barge
The whole barge went up, yeah.
There's been a number of those where the whole, like, whether it's an electrical failure or what, but where they just completely all go off, and it just looks like this haze of white and fire.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, okay, any more? Just gone. Done. But yeah, with electronic firing now, they can do these elaborate shows, and where they're having multiple ones go off at split seconds from each other, shooting in different directions. They even had I was watching these like renowned, I wish I had the list of their names, it was like the Garbonzis and shit like that, these Italian families, who like
nailed it.
How very racist of you.
Right? Oh shit.
Oh, we've had
Our
much more
Bonesies.
racist stuff than that on this show.
Yeah. Thanks, Oracle.
Way to go, white privilege.
No, he could have went the Garbanzi. Real racist.
They lit up the Brooklyn Bridge for the was it like America's bicentennial that was like in the was it the 70s or 80s? Yeah. Where they basically were the ones who got the commission by the government to set off the now actually it was them, and like it was such a big demand that they multiple of these Italian family-based firework companies like worked together. Of course, it's just one of these like History Channel things, which just sounds like, oh, what a great thing, industry came together. Yeah, I'm sure there wasn't some backstabbing and shit,
I wonder why Scorsese hasn't made a movie about that.
Mm-hmm.
When they all came together to get it done for the bicentennial.
For the bicentennial, they did have a pretty badass. They called it I think they called it Freedom Falls, where they lined these pyrotechnics up underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. That it looked kind of like a white Niagara Falls coming off of the bridge down into the water. It's pretty badass. Well, let's move on to a little quick talk of some firework disasters.
Ooh.
Right? That's what we all show up to the radio.
Yep, that's what we showed up for.
Death and Terror. Ashtray never picks a topic unless somebody died.
That's not true. That nobody died in your plumbing episode. So don't even try that bullshit.
Well,
I'm sure someone's died on a toilet before.
True. Oh, there was actually in my plumbing episode we talked about the old water heaters and how they used to explode, blow up through your house. Somebody probably died then. Anyways, what's considered here, this happened so long ago in Seine, France, Seine. This was in the 16th of May, 1770. Is it Seine? How is it pronounced?
I do believe it's Seine.
Seine. Touted as the world's worst fireworks disaster ever. I tried to look into this because it's one of those things where it's like over 800 people were left dead and countless were injured. It's like, Jesus Christ.
People? What the fuck?
Yeah. No, well, what? And granted, this is in 1770, so
they couldn't count.
Looking it up, yeah, they couldn't. Back then it wasn't like there were photographs. But it almost sounds like these tall tales. They were celebrating the marriage of Marie Antoinette to Louis the 16th. And somehow, like, a firework went off that started, a trailer full of fireworks or something like. Fireworks started shooting into the crowds. I guess it turns out what it was, not so much that the fireworks themselves were blowing people up, but the fireworks shooting into the crowds caused such a huge stampede that people said, like, saw whole families be literally crushed, and people were like trampling to try to. They're also trampling to try to get down to the river, which was nearby where they were being shot off. And I'm sure, like, think of how many people probably got stomped and then they were underwater and couldn't get up.
Dude, yeah.
Wow.
Because people are just spilling into the river. So there's been argument over, when I looked further into it, the death toll it's all over the map. I mean, at one point records were saying, because granted, this is how long ago, it was 1770. So at some historical documents were claiming up to 3,000. The actual government or the city records was like 133. And it's one of those things too. It's like, was it, did it just make that much of an impression on people that it was written about and recounted in like an exaggerated, death counts for the sake of the fact that, like, it's not like Snopes is going to get you, like, for saying there's 3,000 people died. You should have been there. It was crazy. Anyways, the rest of these disasters, that's the only like old.
Well, that's pretty brutal.
That's the only they still consider the worst, but it's like, it almost sounds like, is it the worst or is it just the most overhyped? disaster, because all these other ones, modern ones, are from like 2000 on.
Did on your list do you have Duluth, Minnesota?
Duluth, Minnesota? No, not in this like
I was
top 10.
talking to a woman today who is from Duluth, and she said when she was like 5 years old, all of them went off and they just started shooting off into the crowd. So she had like this, it was a big deal for her to be there at the fireworks show because she was terrified of the fireworks.
Oh, wow.
Being scarred as a child. Any other good disasters?
Well, the other disasters were, a lot of them were just like either factories. There was this one here in Mexico in 2013. It's actually a religious procession. The old honoring Jesus Christ in a rural village outside Mexico City. One of the fireworks shot off right into the back of a fireworks truck. And
that's some cartoon name right there, bro.
Yep, exactly. And that, like, they just all went off, and over 16 people were dead and 154 injured. There was let's see here.
Now with the latest on the
There's this one in China.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
You might have been over there, 2013.
Yeah, I think I was. I think you guys sent me a video when I was over there.
Well, this is, I don't know if this, are you thinking of that factory explosion?
Yeah, it was the factory explosion.
This one is yeah, that wasn't fireworks. This one though was in the Henan province. It was actually a truck containing fireworks. That was on a highway bridge. Now I don't know if this shows like just how quick and shoddy the construction is. This truck of fireworks like somehow caught on fire, blew up on the bridge, took the whole bridge down, and multiple vehicles and over 26 people died. Like,
holy shit.
This whole section of overpass just
over 26 people? Like what? Like 27? 28? I mean, it's only double digits. You get to say how many died. That's kind of weird. That's bad reporting. Over 26 people died. So one dude lost a limb, maybe 26.4.
Oh, I forgot. I'm watching this explosion now in the feed. That article.
Yeah, that fucking giant one. That was the Tianjin one.
Let's see here. There was another one that was. I can't remember. I want to say. We'll say it's in Alabama. Somewhere south. It was like some dude. They were like the guy like was just one of those like top 10 list on YouTube, and this guy, he's like, I put it in this list. It's not an accident really, but it had to be noted. This guy went into one of these, buy fireworks here tents and just lit one of them off.
What?
Yeah. And,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
Some people got some serious burns, and like the whole. What? Yeah, I can't remember, like $60,000.
Oh my
in damage.
God.
And yeah, he spent 3 years in jail.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Right.
I just never thought of like that kind of level of anarchy, but
it was probably just a dare too.
Right.
Dude, I'm a dog dare you to go in there.
His name was probably Kyle.
Right.
Right, yeah. Kyle.
Kyle Johnson.
In the fucking...
Give him a monster, he'll do anything.
Hey, Kyle, I'll give you a monster if you go in that tent and light off some fireworks.
Yeah.
Done, bro.
Dude spent 3 years in prison for it.
It was worth it.
Yeah, right? The whole time. It was worth it.
There was also that one. Do you remember recently there was there are always these anecdotal stories, but it was that dude who decided he was going to launch one of those big mortars off his head.
What?
He like put the mortar tube on his head, and
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say he was white.
He died. Yep, I'm assuming he was white.
Shit.
Well, yeah, he put a fucking mortar on his head. What is he expecting? to be YouTube famous?
Oh my God! Holy shit!
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean,
it's serious.
If you look up, there are some funny. Actually, old Travis shared the old backup Terry. Remember that video? The guy with the electric wheelchair. He's lighting the fireworks in the middle of the road and like.
Oh yeah.
So like, he can't get his wheelchair moved. Back up, Terry. Jesus.
What's that dude that fucking? He played for the Giants. He doesn't play for him anymore. He fucking blew his part of his hand off. He's a football player. He's defensive end. With M80s.
What?
A football player blew his hand off with
Michael
M80s?
Strahan or something?
No, name's I'll look it up. Just keep going.
His hand straight away.
So, what is anybody have any crazy fireworks stories?
Ask. Not too many. Well, I guess we would. We used to do the bottle rocket wars. You guys ever do that, where you would shoot bottle rockets at each other?
No,
I mean,
some white people tried that when I moved down here. It was not cool. They learned not to do that shit. It is a white people game. Let's shoot explosives at each other. Awesome.
It's. I was just going to insert
righteous, dude. No, fuck that. Right? No.
South Chicago.
We don't play those types of games.
I'll just bite my tongue.
All right. So,
no, I don't have any crazy.
Oh, I remember one time actually, Donnie and I did something really fucking stupid. Which we did a lot of dumb things. But we were in like this little fucking shed, like a garden shed. And we had one of those smoke bombs, like those little
kind of weird, man.
One of those fucking
they look just like
round things, like a ball. And we lit that off while we were in that fucking shed, and that shit. I mean, it dumped so much smoke, and we're in there, and it's just like
you thought on purpose. You're like, let's stay
we did it.
Here.
We're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be so cool. It was so much fucking smoke, and we're just like choking and fucking dying, right? We probably almost did die.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's probably the dumbest thing that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just who knows what kind of chemicals you were inhaling?
Right.
Apparently, this is a big thing in football here. So this was published on June. No, July 9th, 2015. So, New York Giants defensive end Jason Pierre-Paul reportedly had his right index finger amputated Wednesday after a fireworks accident over the holiday weekend. And he wasn't the only dude. A second NFL star lost two fingers over the weekend while setting off fireworks. Tampa Bay Buccaneers cornerback C.J. Wilson lost two fingers when fireworks did not pop out of the canister when they exploded.
Wow.
That was the same 4th of July.
Yes, the same 4th of July weekend. Two NFL players lost fingers. Yeah, and Jason Pierre-Paul still plays. He has like a big fucking like mitt on his right hand, I think it is.
Yeah. Yeah, there aren't too many jobs for football players once they lose their fingers.
Especially not a cornerback.
Luckily he's not. Cornerback. Right? Yeah, he ain't playing anymore.
He ain't playing anymore. Yeah.
Defensive end. I mean, you don't really need your fingers.
Yeah,
that fucking mitt probably helps him. Actually, he can smack people in the fucking head with it.
Nice.
But that's all I have for fireworks. Anybody else have any exciting personal fireworks stories? Teddy doesn't experiment with them.
I mean, they're explosives. I don't fuck around with them. I light them off, but they're explosives. I don't hold them while they explode. Fuck that.
What was that?
I'm sorry.
That I've blown shit up with like homemade dynamite.
Yeah, we used to do that too. So it's like I'm not sure if this really counts as the same. We used to make pipe bombs.
Wait, did you say homemade? Did you say pipe bombs? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what white
homemade
people in Wisconsin
and then fucking pipe bombs. What the
make
fuck?
Homemade dynamite, man. Yeah.
Not that uncommon to just want to blow some shit up. You're not trying to hurt anyone.
I love one time, dude.
That's how it starts. So you start mailing them to people.
I'm not mailing them to motherfuckers. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Jesus Christ.
All right. We're going to move on to what's sexy.
I don't want to go to prison. I just want to get drunk and blow shit up.
Oh, yeah, right? No, somebody's got to blow that microwave up.
You know, Best laid
What
plans.
did the microwave do to you? Why do you have to blow the motherfucker?
Well, it stopped working. That's what it did to me. Now this is back, when we
was
were
it like an Office Space scene where you took it out to the middle of nowhere?
Oh, it was out back of my friend Eddie's house, but he lived in a trailer up in the quarry.
Of course he did. Oh shit.
Yeah, like up in a quarry, you can do whatever you want. It was like a private trailer park because it was one trailer, but you could do whatever you want.
Yeah, so the cops didn't know where they were making the meth.
Not
or
really
what?
a park.
Yeah, we used to blow shit up there all the time because his dad didn't care. He let us do whatever we wanted.
It's also
all right.
To the quarries because you always want only blow shit.
That's a parent waiting right there.
Yep. Yeah. That's an old Southern Wisconsin boy's rite of heritage. Go to the quarry. Now move around to what's sexy. Mistic. Doing packages.
So I've been working in sports, or I've been working at Fox for 2 years, and normal show news editors don't get to fucking do what are called packages. So they're 2.5 to 2.5 minutes, stories that are pre-made that run during the newscast. And I got to do one with fucking Gino, our goddamn movie critic. So It was the movie Stuber. That. Have you seen the previews for that? It's just horrible looking.
Yeah.
It's with Dave Bautista and Kamal Nungiani, I think his name is. He's in the comedy Silicon Valley. He's like the Indian guy from Silicon Valley. He's also in a bunch of other shit, but I don't really remember what it is. Doesn't matter. This movie looks fucking retarded, but that's not what's sexy. What's sexy is that I got to cut a 2.5 minute package to almost like a trailer. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. With the interview, because what Gino does, just like every other fucking movie critic on local TV stations, he goes to these junkets around the world and interviews these people. You know what I mean? Just does
Is he interviewing the people in the movies?
Yeah, he's interviewing Dave Bautista and.
Oh, okay. So he actually is interviewing. He's not just saying, "Oh, I went to this movie."
No, he's interviewing them and shit.
Oh, that's what I thought. Those people, they just went and watched the movie.
In
the theater.
He gets to watch the movie too, but he interviews them afterwards.
Okay, all right.
So basically, the stars just sit in there, and each movie critic comes in. They have their own SD cards. The SD cards plug into the cameras that they have, and then they record the interview, and our critic brings the cards back to us, and we edit them. So they use a standard Sony.
Oh yeah, these are what you hear the actors and actresses bitching about. It's like, I got to do the same over and over.
Junkets,
Oh, it's so hard being famous.
But yeah, it was kind of cool just being able to be creative on something, because news, you're not creative. You got to write it to the script. You can't fucking, put fucking cool shit in there. That's just.
Well, right. You get, being that it's like a entertainment piece, get a little more leeway.
Yeah.
Have some fun with it. So, what was the premise of this shitty movie? I mean, other than it's cool, you got to do the editing.
It's the fucking.
What's it
Dave
called?
Bautista is a cop, and he has to take an Uber. I don't know why he has to take this guy's Uber, and he basically makes this guy drive him around all these different. He's hunting somebody down. You know what I'm saying? So
is it a comedy or is it a?
Yeah, it's a total comedy. It's
okay.
You ever remember that movie with Jamie Foxx and fucking Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise, yeah. That's what I say. It sounds like that.
It's like that, but not
a funny version.
Not a fucking action movie. A comedy. Same concept.
Collateral was probably like that. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
This does not look good.
Oh no, it doesn't look. Yeah, don't waste your $20.
We're gonna move on next to our. East Coast poet, Oracle, glamping, like East Coasters do.
Yep.
Are you? Thought you said you weren't a glamper.
I'm a motherfucking glamper, man.
Oh yeah, I'm totally glamper.
I'm owning that shit.
On the East Coast, that's all they do.
So I went camping. I went glamping for the first time. I had a big ass camper, had full fucking sewer hookup, water, electricity, shower, shitter, everything that I needed, man.
Jesus Christ, man.
And it was fucking awesome. It was great. It probably ruined me though. I'm probably not going to be able to go camping like a
come down here. You should come down here and come camping with me, bro.
The suffering on my face is so I keep myself hard.
Come on, man.
I was playing
Nobody
PC
wants to go
games.
camping in Tennessee weather, dude.
Right?
No, I'm not talking about like in the middle of the summer. I'm talking about like in the fall and shit. Not now. No.
Not to mention, there's way too many banjos around there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that shit was great. Went diving during the day, went hiking, came back, played PC games at night. It was fucking awesome.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
wow, dude, that's a little too far. I mean,
that's a little white privilege right there, bro.
That's camping. That's McGaw camping, making camping great again.
Making camping maca hat.
Yeah, that shit was good.
Right on.
All right, moving on to Ashtray, shrooms and pork butt.
So you see that video too, huh?
Yep.
Hot mouth.
Got myself. I went to a little 4th of July soiree with some friends and did a 16-hour smoked pork butt. Started at 5 a.m. It was delicious. And they also had just they probably had there's probably a whole ounce of shrooms. Just a bag of shrooms out there right next to.
That's a good fucking party, man.
Yeah.
That's a. No, I'm good. I'll hit the joint. I'm not.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
It was great.
I've never done shrooms, so.
Shrooms are fucking great.
They're mild. I mean, it's if you do a full eighth or quarter all down the hatch at once, you're gonna be.
If you take a small amount, Teddy, it's like being really high. You don't hallucinate. Yeah. It's just,
if anything,
really good body buzz. Really
you
good.
Get too old to try now, so who fucking cares?
The thing is, what's great about mushrooms though is like, I don't know. They say they're now they're studying how they may help with depression stuff, because it really does feel like everything just feels joyful and like the lights look colorful and radiating and pretty. Yeah, everything just seems nicer. And
it is. It's an altered reality, man.
Yeah, right. No wonder I'm
No, don't worry. Reality's waiting for you at 8 a.m.
Yeah, it'll come right back around as soon as those shrooms wear off.
You don't work tomorrow, I'm sure.
So, yeah, thank God. All right, moving on to Teddy in vacation, all caps. Oh, Teddy, did your headphones die?
Yeah,
I'm watching them on.
Yes.
Oh, there
they
it is.
Did die, yeah.
All right, it's your turn. Vacation.
Awesome, cool. Vacation. Tomorrow I leave to go on vacation. Going on a cruise, 5 days.
Nice.
Then I come back.
How many cruises have you been on?
I think it's my 3rd or 4th cruise.
Okay. Have you ever gotten the what the hell is the that thing where all of a sudden everybody gets sick? What's that? Norovirus. Yeah.
I've never gotten sick. No. I'm very careful what I eat.
Everybody fucking gets sick on the
I don't
cruise?
think every cruise gets norovirus.
Not every
I mean, fucking pretty rare.
Always hear about it in the news.
I mean,
that'd be like, you fly on planes? Have you ever crashed? Jesus.
It's the stomach flu is kind of it can be rampant on fucking cruise ships. Because like people do all the buffets and shit, I'm not gonna eat some raw oysters that have been sitting out for like half a day.
Oh, what?
I mean, I stay away from the shrimp. I stay away from the like in the shit that's left out the buffet and shit they keep putting out. I stay away from the seafood and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I try to eat shit that I know is like that's cool. I'll have that when I get home. But I'm not gonna.
Yeah. You're breaking up.
Yeah. I'm gonna break it up. I'll get some oysters. Our ship is sailing out of New Orleans. So I can't wait to get down there and get some.
What are you driving down there?
Po' boy.
Oh fuck no! I do not drive through Alabama, bro. Fuck that. No,
you don't drive anywhere.
No, had a bad experience in Alabama once with my wife. We fly over Alabama one.
Yeah,
no, we're flying.
And you did have a bad experience, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Fuck Alabama.
Fuck Alabama.
Or does the white people that fucking go through there have a bad experience?
Yeah, right.
Can't imagine what it's like for a black person.
I bet you mine was worse.
I'm sure it was. That's what I'm saying.
Damn.
All right, moving on to fuck what you think. Mistic, NBA super teams.
So, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people are sick of seeing this shit. Like, so Kawhi Leonard hasn't decided yet, but everyone thinks he's going to the fucking Los Angeles Lakers. So that means that Anthony Davis, who is by far the best center in the league, LeBron James, who may not be the best player in the league, but he's damn top 10, and Kawhi Leonard, who's probably the second best player in the league, are all going to be on the same team. You know what I mean? Like, who stands a chance against that?
Is there no salary cap or anything like that?
No, there is. There is. It just means that the rest of the team's going to suck, or they're all young kids who don't make a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because LeBron James single-handedly took the Cleveland Cavaliers to the fucking finals 3 years in a row. 4 years in a row. Well, no, I mean, he had Kyrie the first two, but still. Like, it's getting a little ridiculous. And teams like fucking Milwaukee can't keep up. Smaller market teams cannot fucking keep up. They don't have the draw. They can offer as much money, but it's not fucking LA. It's not 76 degrees and fucking sunny.
Is it in the fact? Yeah, is it the fact that the cities themselves are just smaller markets?
Yeah, exactly. So, smaller. Yeah, there's a reason why
nobody wants to.
Green Bay always had to build teams out of the draft. Because up until who was that fucking defensive end that came here? Fucking the Reverend. Reggie White, until he came here, like no free agents ever came here because it's fucking Green Bay, Wisconsin. It's small as fuck and it's cold as shit. Who the fuck wants to come here? You're not gonna want.
Yeah, you only come in here for the nostalgia,
right? Nowadays they do because they fucking win. I mean, not recently.
Well,
not recently. Yeah, here and there. But when they win hard.
Yeah, that shit's lame.
Doesn't football start next month? Like preseason and shit?
Oh, really?
August, yeah.
Yeah, August? God damn.
Wow.
It's July already.
Jeez.
Training camp starts July...
Getting old.
July 23rd, I want to say. Training camp. And so anyway, and then you got the Nets who just signed Kevin Durant. They signed Kyrie Irving and then some other dude.
But Durant's not playing. He's not playing next season, is he?
Huh?
He's not playing next season, is he?
No, Kevin Durant won't be, but they got him for like 5 years or some shit, 4 years. So it's going to be fucking ridiculous. This fucking team. I mean, and the Warriors were the worst. They had 5 starting all-stars at one point.
So what happened to the Warriors?
I mean, the Pistons were the same way back in the day. They lost Kevin Durant. They lost
injuries. Klay Thompson's out.
Klay Thompson's out.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. They need to like have a limit or something. It's just fucking. They get together. These guys are like, oh, I'm friends with this guy. I want to go over here and play. Fucking. Just so happens he's the best.
They do have a limit. It's called a salary cap.
Well, what
but teams can fucking finagle that shit. You know what I mean?
What is the difference between the NFL and the NBA? Because the NFL, the teams don't do that. So what's the difference?
The teams don't do that, but there's more players too.
More players on the field. There's 11 players on the field in football.
Okay, I see. Yeah. So you got
22 starters compared to 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
they better add more fucking players.
Right. The salary cap, while it is more in football, isn't, you got to divide that shit up to a lot more people. And they do it, though. I mean, look at the fucking Browns. Odell Beckham Jr. went there just because he was college roommates and best friends with Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, they do it, but it just doesn't it's not as dominating.
Well,
no, it's not like
because two players aren't going to dominate like two players in the NBA will.
Yeah.
NBA, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's my rant.
Boom.
Word. Moving on to Teddy and Nathan's hot dog contest.
Okay,
what you got wrong with Nathan?
Dude, what it's
a white name.
It is fucking Nathan. Goddamn. I saw it came on today and it was fucking. I just thought it was. What is the point of eating that many goddamn hot dogs? I mean, I don't understand it. It's also it is fucking disgusting to see him like shoving them down.
Yeah. Every year you pick this as your pick. What do you think?
Because it's fucking like disgusting.
I totally agree. It is fucking disgusting. They're slurping their buns down with like water and shit, dude. That's fucking nasty.
I had no. There's like it's like I think it's like an IFC, like IEC or something, International Eating Competition. Whatever. There's like they have like a federation. They're ranked and shit. Like I had no idea until today. This shit was like this shit is a sport, and eating should not be a sport. It's for survival.
No, shitting it off.
What the fuck? I don't. Oh my god! It's fucking disgusting. I hope he's. Have you ever seen these people's teeth? You want to give interviews from the way they have to regurgitate shit back up? Like, if you're like, look at their teeth. They're all fucked up. Like, they're all yellow and shit and fucked up for having to puke this shit up. It's fucking crazy. Shit's disgusting. You got people starving over the world. You got this one motherfucker trying to see if he can eat 74 hot dogs just for the fuck of it.
Right. I
mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I got up to 76, Mom. I made you proud.
Silly. Oh, gross.
That's fucking gross.
That's my fucking
so gross.
I mean, look at shit.
She's got this fucking raincoat on, so she doesn't get barfed on.
Right? Oh my god.
Nasty.
I don't blame her.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, it's what the fuck, man.
Yeah, it's funny too. Is at these events you'll see, they're almost like kind of that those car show girls. Kind of spectacular auto show type thing where you got the ladies who are like, oh yeah, cheer them on with the signs and shit.
I'm pretty sure they're groupies. I mean, it's a group for every sport, but I mean, it's still these guys just shoving them down. Yeah, fuck that.
You know how fucked up your self-esteem has to be a professional eating competition groupie?
Yeah. Right?
How fucked up?
Yeah, right. Shit, even Great White wouldn't take you, baby.
I don't know, Tiffany. Tell us how fucked up.
I had to quit following the Rockers and go to the eating contest.
She just yells, "Daddy, no!" That's how fucked up.
The bottom of the barrel is when you're a groupie for the wing eating contest. All right. Moving on to me. Fuck, what you think, Air Force 4th of July? Was it on TV? I don't know. Why was it?
No, NBC, CBS, and ABC all refused to air it.
Oh, good.
And I don't know if Fox did. I'm assuming
I bet Fox News probably had it.
Yeah.
But what they're expecting these. So just one metric here is these. The F-35 fighter jets are estimating at $44,000 per hour for flying them over. No, I don't know if that's like actual air hours or if that's kind of like $44,000 for every hour it takes just for that operation, or it's
probably just for the operation, but even still,
yeah,
you got 5 or 6 in a formation.
Yeah, well, hey, my fuck you think is not even that they're doing flyovers. It's the fact that they're like, oh well, it's to say it's not costing anything. They're saying, well, we're counting this as training. It's going to double as training. They had to do that training anyways. Might as well have them train right over Washington.
Oh my god!
Don't crash anybody.
Basically, they're taking it from checking it off the list of like these are the required amount of training flight hours you need this year. Ooh. So then it technically isn't costing anything.
What bothers me is that he took himself and inserted it into our country's birthday.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's akin to your brother bringing his kid along to your fucking birthday party, Teddy. You know what I mean? With the cake. Hey, you mind if we do this with yours? You know, like, dude, no. This is for my kid. This is my thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. All right, moving on to Oracle. Wow. Public event slobs.
Public event slobs. I went to
says
the
the
fourth
fucking
of
shit up.
Not to be confused with slobs.
Pick your shit up. I fucking went to the 4th of July thing, and I'm leaving, and there's shit fucking everywhere on the ground.
Just really just dropping it?
Yeah. Just, put it in the trash can. Don't be a piece of shit. Why do people need to be pieces of shit?
They naturally are, Oracle, if you haven't learned that yet.
I seriously think it's the way they're parenting. They've parented people. You know what I'm saying?
Terrible, man.
When I grew up, and I don't know if you guys are the same, you're around my age, so I assume if I left something on the ground, my mom and dad would have smacked me.
Right.
What the fuck are you doing? Throw it in the garbage. But how often do you see that nowadays?
Yeah.
Dude, every now and then I'll let some go out the window. My girlfriend's like, "Watch you throw it out the window. Watch you." I'm like, I don't know, just to throw it.
Oh, Teddy!
Wait, sometimes you do what for your girlfriend? Just throw something out, just throw litter.
I'll be tossing out the window in the car. She's like, "Why? You're littering? Why?" I'm like, "Yeah, sometimes I litter."
What?
I mean,
You're such an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, no, you do not. Shut up. Do you really?
No, I'm generally not a litterer, but like sometimes when I find out something in my car, I just toss it out the window.
See, no,
wow.
Yeah, it's just, I'm not like a big litter. If I'm stone driving, I'm like, what is this thing in my car?
My only justification for littering out your vehicle is if it's incriminating evidence.
Yeah.
So then the police can find it.
So a little kid can find it.
Right. Well, mostly I'm talking about like an empty whiskey bottle or something. Not talking about bodies.
Dude, we're not, but apparently you are now. Nobody mentioned bodies, bro. Is there something the mushrooms are trying to tell us? That's right.
Yeah, right. The only thing I'm going to be pulled over for is either drunk driving or murder.
Whoa. Yeah. Maybe both at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
I'm going to check your trunk, sir.
If this happens, our show will be so popular.
Right.
Yeah, don't call me vehicular homicide Ashtray.
I do have to say this. With you being on shrooms and shit and me being high, feel like your camera and shit, it looks like a scene. It looks like you're in the hotel from Fear and Loathing
in Las Vegas. That's fucking. That's the natural state of Ashtray's fucking place.
No, it's like calamity.
It's bad country.
Red hue. It's
some clothes hanging up in the back.
Oh, that's really funny.
Like a robe in the corner.
Chubby Benicio del Toro to come around the corner with a knife.
Chubby Benicio.
The fuck are you talking about, man?
Okay. Get back there, Benicio. I told you. You're not allowed out till I'm done.
Yeah, you just need to have like a TV, an old school TV in the corner playing like Vietnam War footage.
Yeah, there you go.
Black and white Vietnam War shit.
Much more like a fucking weird man den. All right. Anything more about the event slobs?
No, just fucking pick your shit up.
Pick up after yourselves.
Yeah.
All right. In all seriousness, go fuck yourself, Harvard, Illinois. That's our show. We're going to be here every Wednesday night or Thursday night, 10 p.m. Central. Make sure you join the conversation at theredeyereport.com or facebook.com/The Red Eye Report. You can also twiddle us on twitter.com, which we don't use anyways. So, like us, share us, fuck us. We're down for whatever. I am the Ashtray.
I'm Teddy.
Coughing.
Yeah.
Gotta talk faster, buddy.
I'm Mistic.
Yeah, you're CPOD Mistic.
I still have to do laundry and pack.
And this is the Red Eye Report.
Boom.